Anfield has been brimming with optimism in recent weeks, but that mood has been dampened by a fresh setback just days before Liverpool's crucial showdown with Newcastle. With the Premier League season already demanding its toll, Arne Slot's side now faces an untimely hurdle that could have a major impact on their preparations for the upcoming clash. Let's break this down in today's video, along with all the other Liverpool news from the last 24 hours. There is so much to discuss in today's video, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. But first, while it has been claimed that Liverpool hijacked Newcastle's move for Hugo Ekitike, the champions are baffled, having begun their pursuit months previous. The situation around Alexander Isak and his attempts to force a transfer to Liverpool has sparked paranoia among Newcastle supporters. A popular theory on Tyneside is that the Reds shot themselves in the foot with their £79 million signing of Ekitike earlier in the summer, as that blocked Newcastle from landing him as Isak's replacement. But Liverpool officials were left baffled by claims they hijacked Newcastle's deal for the Frenchman, as they began laying their own groundwork for a transfer at the beginning of the year. That is according to The Athletic's James Pearce, who reports that contact with Ekitike's representatives began in January before the striker spoke with Arne Slot in May. Liverpool had been linked with the 23-year-old throughout the year, with the Mail's Lewis Steele frequently mentioning him as being of interest to scouts. And while it is normal for players to explore their options in the market, it is clear that a move to Anfield was more attractive than St James's Park. That should end any conspiracy over Liverpool intentionally damaging Newcastle's transfer plans, along with bizarre suggestions that they should have ended talks with Ekitike to ensure a pathway to signing Isak. With Luis Diaz making it known that he wanted to leave this summer and a decision made to part ways with Darwin Núñez, the champions will have long been aware they needed to sign two strikers. Newcastle have continued to struggle in signing their top targets, with moves for strikers Liam Delap, João Pedro and Benjamin Sesko also failing, while no progress has been made over Brentford's Yoane Wissa either. It is evident that St James's Park is not yet the elite destination it is seen as on Tyneside, and that Newcastle cannot compete with their Premier League rivals in the market. Sources in the northeast maintain that any deal for Isak is still contingent on a replacement being signed first, with Wolves' Jurgen Strand-Larsen, PSG's Goncalo Ramos, Chelsea's Nicholas Jackson and Porto's Samu Agahawa all linked. Now, in a major blow ahead of Liverpool's clash with Newcastle, Arne Slot has revealed an injury setback for Jeremy Frimpong, with Liverpool set to be without both of their regular right-backs for Monday's trip to Newcastle. Frimpong is sidelined with a hamstring injury suffered against Bournemouth and is now expected to miss the next two games at least. That leaves Liverpool without both of their regular starting right-backs, with Connor Bradley not yet in contention, despite briefly making his return to training on Thursday. Speaking in his pre-match press conference ahead of the first away game of the season at Newcastle, Slot confirmed Frimpong would miss out. The medical team was completely right about it. To tell me I had to take him off against Bournemouth, he told reporters. He's out until the end of the international break, and that happened in the game. I think I got criticised a bit for taking him off, didn't I? I already said immediately after the game it had nothing to do with how he played. We felt he had an issue with the hamstring, the medical staff, and they were completely right. Good call to take him off, otherwise he would maybe have been out for longer. We expect him to be back after the international break. While Frimpong will miss Netherlands duty, Bradley has already been called up to the Northern Ireland squad for their World Cup qualifiers against Luxembourg and Germany next month. That suggests there is a confidence 22-year-old will be involved for Liverpool before the international break, with the trip to Newcastle followed by the visit of Arsenal on August 31st. Slot does have other options at right back, naming Joe Gomez, Wataru Endo and Dominic Szoboszlai as contenders. However, the head coach indicated that Gomez, who missed much of pre-season himself due to an Achilles injury, is not yet capable of playing a full 90 minutes and likely cannot start at St James's Park on Monday. Liverpool's preparations for a tough trip to St James's Park could hardly be more complicated, with Arne Slot forced into a defensive reshuffle at the worst possible time. Losing Jeremy Frimpong to a hamstring issue and still waiting on Connor Bradley's full return leaves the Reds vulnerable in a key position, and the head coach will have to get creative with his backline. With Newcastle looking to make a statement on home soil, this setback adds an extra layer of difficulty to what is already shaping up to be one of the sternest early season tests for Slott's side. In other news, Harvey Elliott is claimed to have already agreed personal terms over a move away from Liverpool, who are open to the midfielder leaving for the right price. Elliott was an unused substitute in the opening game of the Premier League campaign after being given just 6 minutes in the Community Shield loss to Crystal Palace. With fewer forward options at present, Arne Slot's use of his number 19 in those 2 games highlights the position he finds himself in. Liverpool are expected to allow Elliott to leave this summer if a deal can be brokered for around £40 million with a buyback clause or £50 million without. RB Leipzig are chief among the sides working towards an agreement, and according to Sky Germany's Florian Plettenberg on X, they have already agreed personal terms with the player himself. LFC News understands Leipzig made contact with Liverpool at the beginning of August as they seek a replacement for the Chelsea-bound Xavi Simons. While Simons' switch to Stamford Bridge is yet to go through, Plettenberg claims Elliott is Leipzig's leading candidate to succeed the Dutchman. Spurs, West Ham and Brighton have also been credited with an interest in the 22-year-old, though there has been a lack of movement from sides in the Premier League. Elliott is clearly committed to the cause at his boyhood club, but entered the summer with a sense of realism over his prospects under Slot. If I had it my way, I would be here for the rest of my career. It's as simple as that. I love everything about the club, he told the Anfield Wrap last month. But at the same time, I kind of need to be selfish with myself and see what's best for me. I have big ambitions, I want to get in the World Cup squad, keep being successful as a player. Despite the ugly fallout from Alexander Isak's public statement over his future at Newcastle, Liverpool will continue to ready themselves to move for the Swede if they are given encouragement to bid again. Slot has already made clear he needs at least one more forward before the transfer window closes, while his options in midfield were boosted significantly by the British record signing of Florian Wirtz. Clearly, Elliott is not considered a long-term option as a starter, and a resolution over his future can be expected within the next week and a half. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Liverpool content. We post all the latest Liverpool news every day, so join our fast-growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.